Hi there everybody, Tracy Filter here with Tracy's Ink Spot, ready to bring you another fun fold. This one, I've received a sample from a fellow demonstrator, Betty Weisbrich, and she called this a mini gatefold card. If you're used to gatefolds, usually they meet directly in the center of a card, so this one just has a short side and a long side, and I'm going to do a little more decoration on the finished copy that you see today, but this is the basic layout and where we're headed. Everything I'm using today comes from either the mini catalog, January to June 2022, or the current annual catalog, May 22 to April 23. I'm going to be using Flowering Tulips stamp set, and that's on page 16 of the mini catalog. I'm also going to be using the Flowering Fields Designer Series paper. These are all double-sided images, mostly with tulips. These are such pretty colors. Look at all of these great images. This one I've loved so much, I don't even have a full sheet of it left. And then the back side has some great patterns in some great colors that you can use for these lovely backgrounds, especially like scrapbooking. Those would be great backgrounds for a page. Alrighty, so here is what you're going to need. You are going to want to have a card base that is 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to score it at 1 1/4. And then again at 5.5. You want a piece of neutral cardstock for the inside if you are going to use a darker piece as your base. That's just going to be 4 by 5 1/4. You need 2 pieces of designer series paper, one 2.5 by 5 and one 3/4 by 5. They can be the same or different. You can see mine are just coordinating ones. And then those are going to get layered on a colored cardstock, so something different from your card base, but that still goes together, coordinates with your designer series paper. So you'll need a piece that's 2 3/4 by 5 1/4, and a piece that's 1 by 5 1/4. And then you'll want stamps, dies, whatever it is that you want to have to create some kind of focal point, and then also to complete the inside of your card however you plan to do so. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Grabbing my paper trimmer. My card base is made from Pear Pizzazz cardstock. Just get my adhesive out of the way. Okay, so again, you're going to take that over to 1 1/4. Run that through your score blade, and then take it over to 5.5, and then run your score blade again. Okay, and that is all you're going to need that for. All right, let's go ahead and give those edges, or those score lines I should say, a nice crease with our bone folder. And as you can see, that little bit should meet right there. Okay, so again, if you're going to do something for the inside, this is where your 4 by 5 1/4 piece is going to go. You can decorate that up however you like. I'm going to leave mine empty for now because I haven't decided if I'm going to write a message in this one or add embellishments or an image to it later. But there's going to be your layer for the inside. So again, decorate that up however you like. Now you're going to want to grab those pieces of designer series paper and the layers. So again, this is a 3/4 width, that would be a 1 inch, and this would be a 2.5 width, and this is going to be a 2 3/4. And then these are each 5s, and these are 5 1/4, or 5 1/4, or whatever. Okay, so as you can see, these 2 pieces happen to come from the same piece of designer series paper. Again, just pick something that coordinates with what you would like to do, and again, they can be exactly the same too. Alrighty, so this 3/4 piece is just going to mount on top of that piece right there. And this one's going to go onto here. Now I'm going to go ahead and do something a little bit different before I attach them to the cards. I'm going to add just a little bit of baker's twine. This is from the, where did my note go? Oh, there it is. This is from the Fan Baker's Twine. You get a set of 3 together. There's Night of Navy, there's Poppy Parade with white, and then there's this Evening Evergreen. And I'm going to go ahead and just wrap a little bit around. And let's see, I'm going to cut just enough to wrap around. And then I'm going to grab my glue dots, and we're going to attach them. So there's going to be a piece that wraps around that, and there'll be a piece to wrap around that one. And then I'll add a little bit of an embellishment to that as well. That Baker's Twine is from the set in the mini catalog that's got the pennants and banners Really, really great masculine set. Lots of baseball imagery, that sort of thing. And that's in the Biggest Fan collection. And you can find that in the mini catalog on page 69. Okay, so I've grabbed my glue dots. Now the trick is I'm going to want these to be about the same place. So let me start with the larger one. When I'm using my glue dots, I do like to take whatever it is I'm gluing down directly to that and be able to pull it up all together. Okay, so I'm going to start that right about here, I think, about halfway, and just go ahead and put that to the back side, and then same thing with this one. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and put that directly on my cardstock since my piece is just sitting right there. Boop. Okay, and let's just make sure that's, yep, that's pretty straight across. Okay, so here again, taking the glue dot taking the twine to the glue dot, and one on this end as well. Okay, and again, I want them to be in about the same position. That looks like that was right about there. Okay, whoop, like cool. All right, so those glue dots are just gonna have that sticking to the back side for me. Perfect. Make sure those are about the same. Great. Okay, now I can go ahead and adhere those to my card. You can decide to if you want to have that popped up at all. I'm just going to do it directly to my card, so no dimensionals or anything going on that one. And I am going to go right over where that adhesive was. And obviously your bigger piece goes on this part here, and your smaller piece will go on the other. And again, keep in mind if you have anything that's directional, just make sure they're going the same direction. Okay, so now I've created also a focal point element that I'm going to have on the front of this one. So I'm going to start with a piece of basic white cardstock and 2 stamps from that tulip set. I'm going to start with one of this tulips in Highland Heather, and I want it to be pretty light, so I'm going to stamp it off once, and then I'm going to put it on there. Okay. So there is my tulip in Highland Heather. Then I'm going to add this thank you image. It's a really nice medallion circle shape. And I'm using my evening evergreen. And pardon my head in case that gets in the way, but I want that to be kind of centered over where that tulip was. Okay? So those two pair really nicely together. Love that medallion-y circle shape. I'm going to go ahead and run that through my Stamp & Cut and Emboss machine using the layering circles dies, and I'm also going to take a piece of evening evergreen and cut a layer. And after I do that, I have this. So I have my white medallion piece that I made, and then I also cut one out of the scalloped circles, which is just a little bit bigger, and that's going to be the layer for that. So I'll put those two together. And because I'm using a die cut, and I wanted to make sure I stamped that first and then sent it through, so I have a really good idea of where that's going to go. Okay, now for this, I'm only going to put dimensionals on the left edge because I don't want it, if I do it all the way across, it's going to end up sealing the card closed, and that's certainly not what we want to do. Okay, so it's still going to be able to open because we've only attached that part right there. Now you could leave this exactly as it is, or if you want to add just a little bit more to go along with that twine that we had in there, I can make a bow. I'm going to move this over just a little bit because it's dark. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a bow out of my baker's twine. And that's super duper thin, so it tends to like to curl up on me. Okay. And cut those tails off. It's going to be a nice big bow. I'm going to go ahead and bring one more glue dot in here, right where the knot is on that bow, and then I'm going to add that to the side of my medallion piece. So now it looks like you've tied the ribbon or twine or whatever you're using all the way across, when really all you've done is had a piece wrap around here, a piece wrap around here, and then attached a bow completely separately from that. All right, everybody, so that is the mini gatefold card. And as you can see, it likes to pop up and stay. So I'm just going to put my bone folder right on top of there to hold it down for a second. There we go. So that is your mini gatefold card. Again, thanks to Betty for sharing that layout with me. And I hope you all enjoyed this particular fun fold and can't wait to see what you guys do with it. Thanks for joining me today. Bye now.